Right, I'm Tommy Parker with MMAtalk.tv, and I'm here talking to Ricky the Fat Bastard Campbell, and he's going to be fighting Makunga Bunduku at UCMMA 34. Mate, he's proven to be quite a tough cookie recently. Makunga, he's beat Carl Lawrence, and I know that you tend to rely on just your training to prepare you for fights normally, but has there been anything specific or any intense preparation for Makunga? Has it changed at all now you're going to be fighting him?
Like I said in an interview before, I up my training. I don't do anything specific. I just up everything. I will do more boxing. I'll do more wrestling. I'll do more jiu-jitsu. I'll do more freestyle wrestling. I'll do everything that I need to do to fight the MMA game. I've seen Makunga fight. He's a good lad. He's got good Thai boxing. He's got good wrestling. His jiu-jitsu's up to scratch. I think if I can match him, or maybe train hard enough to improve myself over him, it's going to be a good fight, or I might have the edge over him. We won't know till on the night.
Have you had to cut any weight for this fight? Have you had to put any on?
As you can hear, hence the nickname. When I first started MMA, I was like 117 kilos, so I walk around now I train all the time, I walk around about 93, 94, but when I up into a fight, I'll go do more road running, I'll cut out all the crisp and chocolate, and I'll get down to 88 and I'll cut on a day from there.
Fair enough. So when did you start MMA training, and did you have any traditional martial arts before it? What to say, traditional martial arts. I started boxing when I was about 7. Me and my twin brother. It was a bit of an outfall for my mum growing up in a rough part of London, so to get a break from us, she would send us down to the local boxing gym for a couple of hours, do a boxing lesson and pick us back up, and from there, and I've never really stopped. All right. And then who brought you into MMA? Who got you into it?
Well, my friend Lee Page, I've known him for a while, just down from the local pub, just out and about, having mutual friends, and he's very good friends with Lee Johnson, our Sambo black belt, and BJJ black belt, and the head coach at Combat, and I went down there one day and being thinking I was a bit of a lad, he went there, I have a spar with Lee. He was only stick thin, and I was a big fat young teenager, and he went a spar. I threw one jab, I got picked up, slammed and tapped out in 20 seconds. So since 4 years ago, I've trained under Lee Johnson, and I've never looked back since.
So you've trained purely at Combat Sports Academy for the past 4 years?
I've trained nowhere else but under Lee Johnson and Lee Page. It's the only people I've trained under.
You say you grew up in a rough part of London. Where was that? What was that like?
It was it was good. It was like down. I grew up in East London, but we got out when we was 12. But I'm quite glad. It gives you a good streetwise sensibility to know what to do and what not to do out and about. Like where I'm from now, it's getting rougher, but it's easier than from where
right.
we first grew up.
So, how would you say that MMA's changed you from when you were growing up? Like, how's it shaped you? What differences has it really made?
Well, when I first got into it, as I was going, it's just a bit you get in trouble and that. But since I've kept my head down and I've had something to focus on, I haven't looked back. I've got a family now. I've got a house. Got a good job. I don't look back. Just all I think about now is feeding my daughter, my girlfriend, and training. That's all I think about.
You just had a baby?
Christmas Day she was born.
Christmas Day she was born. Congratulations, mate.
So, and she's the nuts now. Even when I'm sparring, if I'm a little bit on edge, I'll just think of her in the back of my head, and I outpower most people. Just that sense of drive and that sense of love. Yeah, it makes me push through anything I want to push.
So instead of it actually dragging you back at all, or being a burden, it's pushing you forward even more.
I had hard spar. I went sparring a few weeks ago down at a gym in London, and I come unstuck a little bit, and I just thought of her in the back of my head, and it just got me out of the trouble I needed to get out of, really.
Right, now you work as a plumber, right? Is that right?
I work for CBM Plumbing Monday to Friday.
Yeah. So how many hours do you get to fit in each week for training, even up to a fight, or normally?
Well, it depends. Normally I've been getting home at like 4:30 at the minute. I'll sit at home to about 6:30. I'll come and train. I'll get a good couple of hours in. Whether it be if I've got a twin brother, a little bit bigger than me, he's the better fighter out of the pair of us. But when we turn up, I'll always ring him up. Do you want to go and get an hour sparring? And we come up and we will beat each other's sentences for an hour. Or even if I've got half hour, I'll come up there and I'll set myself a circuit up. I'll smash it and then I'll go home and just repeat all week.
Is there any particular training you enjoy the most? Like, what do you do for strength and conditioning?
To be honest, I'm quite happy to admit this. I don't do any strength. I don't do no weights. I don't do any conditioning to my body. That's why.
Pure fighting.
I'll just do pure cardio, pure put the gloves on. We're gonna go. I've never been a man for the gym. I've never been a man for appearance. Six packs and big muscles. Just I have never been advertising to it.
Factored in.
I've never factored in. Hence is why they call me the fat bastard. Because even when I get down to the lowest weight I've been to, like 84, I'm still flabby everywhere. But yeah, strength and conditioning's never really bothered. I've never found strength to be a problem with what I do.
Or technique, isn't it?
The technique helps. Strength does. Everyone says strength don't help, but strength does. Because when you've got technique and strength, you're in trouble. Yeah. But I think I fought at heavyweight, I fought at light heavyweight, I fought at middleweight, and I've only ever struggled once, and that was against the ex-heavyweight of cage race. So that's the only time I thought, should I do something? Then I thought, no, I won't bother.
Now you're a family man, right? So how do your kids and your wife, missus, feel when you're in the cage, and how do they feel about your fights? Do they support you 100%, or are they a bit worried?
Yeah, my girlfriend supports me. My girlfriend's a kickboxer herself. She's had 10 fights, and her record's better than mine, to tell you the truth. And yeah, she supports me 100%. She was wanting, if I sit home, I'll have a rest day today when I shouldn't have a rest day. She's like, I'll get your fat ass to training. Don't blame me if you're not fitting on it. And she gives me that drive to go. And my baby's a bit too young to understand what's going on in a minute. But maybe if I turn up with a couple of black eyes, she might think, what's happening to daddy?
Right. Now, after your first win, was it? It spurred you on to do 6 fights within 5 months. I just want to know what went through your mind when you were doing that, and also, do you know no fear? Is there no, and if you do get butterflies before a show, how do you deal with it?
Yeah, there's always a fear in the back of it, but I always shut out till the cage door's locked, and you always think it's either you or me. And it either goes one way, either goes your way, or goes their way. But I always try and make sure it goes my way. Keep calm before, just try and keep energised, get a good night's sleep, good food in you, and hopefully be ready for it 100%.
Yeah, do you manage to sleep well before a fight?
Yeah, I've had 6 professional fights now. I had 6 amateur fights. Right. So now before the fights, I'm through. For the first couple of fights, I only slept for a couple of hours, and that was pretty tight. But now, I just don't seem to be bothered by it. I'm not trying to be big-headed or saying like I've got an ego, because I haven't. It's like when further you go along, I think further you get more immune to it. If you
it still becomes routine, and you get used to it. Becomes part of your life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, the thing is, there's this thing in the UK at the moment where people don't like to appear to call anyone out, and I don't think it's so much as calling people out. But as a fighter, you must see fighters that you think, I would like to fight him because he'd be a good challenge, or any shows that you aspire to appear on.
There's not so any much I want to fight anyone. There is a few good boys out there, and like I say, I'm not going to say any names, but there is a few big names that if I get a big win against Makunga, I will be calling someone out. Everyone might be a bit surprised about, but if he says yes, I think I could go on to beat him and whoever else comes.
Yeah, we'll find the names out at the post-fight interview.
If I win, I'll fire the names out. I've been told to keep strictly up. I will be calling out a few different names.
Yeah. So, Combat Sports Academy has been a big part. It is the main thing in your MMA. Have you got any sponsors yet? Are you looking to get sponsored, or do they actually put money into you? Do they sponsor you themselves?
Combat backed me 100% of my training, so I wouldn't ask my trainer to say, can you sponsor me with free training? Because I think as a fighter, you've got to pay a little bit of your own way. Like my fight pass, I'll always give him his commission that he's owed, and bits and pieces like that. Sponsor wise, I'm sponsored by Shady 80s, Tattooists. James Osborne, when he comes down here, he's an accountant, so a very good accountant. So if anyone wants a decent accountant, speak to James Osborne. And a tough fight where, like I said, it was owned by our thing. He gives me the shorts and t-shirts for my walkout. So
a tough fight where
tough fight where it's owned by Lee Johnson. Yeah, and it's good clothing. He gives a few of the boys. I find as a combat sports fighter, I owe it to him to wear his material. Not as more of a sponsorship, more as loyalty to him.
Yeah. Now I know you work all day, you train, you got a family. But are there any other like hobbies or interests or things that go on in the life of Ricky Campbell that we don't know about?
My girlfriend would tell I'm addicted to The Walking Dead. I'll watch every episode 3 times. It's a bit sad, but and anything Call of Duty. I'm black.
You're a secret geek.
I'm black belt Call of Duty. So if anyone wants
black belt Call of Duty.
if anyone wants to challenge me, I'm quite up for that.
What's your tag?
What's my name? Artful Codger. There's a few of us.
Artful Codger.
Yeah, there's a few of us with the Artful crew. So that's us.
I know you like the Walking Dead and all that, but there must be a martial arts film that's one of your favourites. You must have had martial arts films in your youth or whatever. What's your favourite martial arts film and why?
It's got a bit of Karate Kid.
Karate Kid?
Yeah, it's something I can think of on the top of every day I've seen recently. So.
What, the new one?
Is it the one with Will Smith? Yeah, Will Smith. Yeah, that was pretty. Seeing something I think that'd never work, but wanting it to work, you know, it's going to be pretty good to watch.
All right. So finally, is there anything you'd like to say to your loved ones, your coaches, your fans, and your opponent Makunga, if you'd like to say some words?
No, I won't say. I'll let actions speak louder than the words for that one. So I won't say that to Makunga, but. I'd like to say thank you to Lee Johnson, my BJJ coach, who always gives 100% into all the boys training. Lee Page, who's who's head corner, who fighters are basically adopts as his sons, and if you're one of his boys, he'll make sure you're there and training. If you're not training, you're not going to fight, and he'll make sure that we're 100% fit. And he's a good, very good coach. George Mahoney, amateur boxer, who helps me out in my boxing 100%. All my family, and especially my girlfriend, who backs me for my training and supports me. And the reason I'm standing here is to try and make my daughter's life easier in the future. Try and make it big. Try and give her everything that she ever wants. Like if she wants something, I can go. Yeah, I can go and get it. Do you know what I mean? Because I own a house. I own a house. I'm only 25, so owning a house is a big responsibility at this age. I've got a mortgage, working 5 days a week, and having to I pay for my daughter, my girlfriend, and so it's hard to do. So I'm not trying to praise myself by saying I do this, but there's a lot of boys out there who've got it easy. There's a lot of amateur, there's a lot of pro boys on the circuit who's rep for. I don't think it should be rep for. Like mummy and daddy have given it to him in a silver spoon, and are able to train 5 days a week from 9 till 5 because they get it. But I'm not a fair play they can do it. I'd love to be able to do it. Do you know what I mean? But
you wouldn't complain if you.
But I'm going to try and make it. I'm going to try and make it the hard way like the rest of the boys here. So.
Well, Ricky, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Lovely lad. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.